Hi everyone, my name is Lorinda Eddy, and today I'm going to talk to you about some of the steps that you can take in order to reach the top of your network marketing company. Now, before I get started, I just want to let everyone know that I am not a network marketing professional. I don't claim to be. In fact, I'm very new to the industry, but these are just some of the steps that I have personally taken to reach the top of my company and some of the steps I've witnessed others taking as well in the top of theirs. I've done a lot of personal development and I study a lot of network marketing professionals, and so I just thought I would throw some tips out there for you. And something else to keep in mind, I tried to keep these points as basic as possible, but all network marketing companies are not structured the same, so some of these may not apply to you. But one thing to keep in mind is that the people who are at the top of their company all did it in different ways. Not everybody gets there the same way, but I just felt like these points were kind of just across the board general tips that I can give you that usually I would think would apply to all network marketing companies, but they may or may not. I'm not 100% sure because I'm new to the industry, but I hope this helps you guys either way. So the first thing that I know a lot of people struggle with, myself included when I first started, was opening your page to the public. Now, I know that there are a lot of risks involved as far as your privacy and whatnot, but just hear me out for a second. You can't grow your audience if you have your page closed off. You know, people join people, they don't join companies. So if you're reaching out to somebody about your opportunity, what's the first thing they're gonna do? They're gonna go to your page and they're gonna check it out. They're gonna see what you're all about. You know, they wanna know who they're talking to. If they can't see anything but that you've changed your profile picture a few times in the last year, they're not going to be interested, okay? And it's as simple as that. You have to keep your page open to the public. So let's say you have a brick and mortar and you have your own business. Would you open it just to friends and family and your acquaintances, or would you open it to the public? You know, do you think you would get very far if you didn't open your business to the public? It's the same thing. If your company is a social media based company, then your storefront is now your social media platforms. You want to be relatable when you reach out to people. You want them to go to your page and immediately see something that they can relate to, something that makes them laugh, something that makes them think about things a little deeper, something that inspires them. You don't want people to see nothing, because then they're not going to be able to relate to you and they'll go to somebody else that they can relate to, because people join people, they don't join companies. Just like if you had a storefront, you reserve every right to kick somebody out who makes you feel uncomfortable, who makes your customers feel uncomfortable, if they're suspicious, if they're doing something that is not ethical. You reserve the right to remove them. Same thing for your Facebook page. You have the delete button and you have that block button. There are a lot of tools that you can utilize to customize your page to your liking. So take advantage of those tools and open your page to the public. You will have to get rid of some creepers and some, negative people every now and then, but that's just the risk involved in starting your own business. If you don't open your page to the public, your network will never grow. The next tip I have for you is to utilize your personal Facebook page for your business. Now, a lot of people will sign up and say, I don't want to bug my Facebook friends. I'm going to create a separate account just for my company, or I'm just going to use my business page, or I'm just going to use my VIP, my closed, my private group. But here's the thing about that. To be quite honest with you, most people who get added into groups like that, either they immediately exit, they unfollow, or they don't pay attention to what's going on. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to my Facebook page and looked through the groups that I've been added to, and I'm like, I don't even remember being added to these. I don't get any of the notifications. That's kind of how it is. Unfortunately, that's the way it is these days. And so that's why I always tell people, utilize your personal Facebook page. You already have a network available to you. Your friends on your Facebook, they are your network. Use it. You don't want to create a separate Facebook page for your business only, because people don't want to scroll through their newsfeed and just see a bunch of posts about your business every time they see your name. Use your personal Facebook page and mix up your posts a little bit with humor, inspiration, lifestyle posts, do a little bit of informative posting, things like that. You don't have to blow up people's newsfeed with just your business. And here's the thing now, Facebook has an algorithm, and you are only being shown, your posts are only being shown to about 20% or less of your friends now. So really there's no way to quote unquote blow up someone's newsfeed anymore because of that algorithm change. So take the time and put some thought into your posts, and keep in mind that the more interaction that you get on your posts, the better. So this next tip you would think is common knowledge, which it unfortunately is not, is to keep it positive. Now, if you're posting controversial topics, if you're debating something, if you're putting people down, if you're just being nasty and negative and rude to people, that is bad for business. If you would not do that in your storefront in the presence of your customers, then just don't do it on your social media platforms. So the next thing, it is very, very important to stay consistent during the busy and the slow times in your life and in the industry. So let's say you have a storefront again and you have specific hours on the door and you are the only employee. Are you just gonna show up late because you wanted to sleep in a little bit, or because you had a bad night, or are you just gonna, take a little nap before you come in because the hours don't matter to you? Or what about, if you decided that, you just didn't want to come in that day at all because you were super busy? Are you going to do that? No, probably not, unless you really just did not care about the success of your business, because if you continue doing that, not only are you going to lose customers, but you're going to lose your business. So once again, your social media platforms are your storefront if you are in a network marketing company that is social media based. Show up every day. So next, you need to figure out a way to post about your company and your product without being spammy. And I believe that this is a sort of art form because it does take time. I know that it's hard to refrain from saying shop here and buy here when you're super excited about your products, but just don't do it. Figure out a way to get creative about it. People don't sign on to Facebook to be sold to. They sign on because they want to be entertained or they want to escape. So find a way to get people involved and be relatable at the same time as talking about your product. So figuring out your brand is very, very important in this industry. Now, you can brand yourself with the company that you are with, but you also want to brand yourself as a person outside of the company. And here, let me explain to you why. As I said, people join people, they don't join companies. So you want to find a way to be relatable. Figure out what your core values are, what your passions are, what makes you happy, and talk about those things, because your brand is what people think of when they hear your name. So whenever you figure out what makes you happy, what you thrive off of, what your passions are, post about them. Don't be afraid to talk about your personal life. As long as you keep it positive, you need to be relatable. So don't try to be perfect. If you have quirks, just own them and continue, living life and talking about it on your social media platforms, because if you try to be perfect, you won't be relatable. Because why? Nobody's perfect. Another thing to think about is there are distributors, representatives, ambassadors, whatever the word is for your company, they're everywhere. So what sets you apart? What makes you different from them? What makes you relatable as opposed to someone else? People join people, not companies, as I said. So figure it out, post about it, and be relatable. So I say that you need to figure out your brand, not create your brand, because you already have one. Whether that's good or bad really depends upon what you've posted in the past and how people feel when they're around you, how you make people feel. But the bottom line in branding yourself is to be genuine, be authentic, and be original, be true to yourself. So you're not creating your brand, you're figuring out your brand and then showing it to the world, if that makes sense. They say you have to know yourself in order to grow yourself. So that leads me to my next point, which is personal development. For me personally, personal development is my go-to. If I am just feeling a little off, personal development. If my business isn't growing, it's because I'm not growing. Personal development. If I'm feeling negative and just not happy about things, personal development. That is always my go-to, and that is always what I tell my team, because even the most successful people in the world do personal development. Life coaches do personal development. Psychologists do personal development. Extremely wealthy and prosperous and lucrative investors do personal development. Personal development coaches do personal development. The 7-figure earners in network marketing do personal development. It's essential to the success in your business. So just do it and do it often. It could be anything from teaching you how to, finances, to changing your mindset. A lot of people will call this self-help. Grow yourself learn, read. It doesn't even have to be about network marketing. It can be about something completely different. I'm learning right now about how to buy a house. This has nothing to do with my business, but then again, I would not be in this position had I not joined this industry. So it's just one of those things. Personal development and growth go hand in hand. If you're not growing, your business isn't growing. This next one is a little more difficult and probably the number one reason why people quit network marketing. We as humans are naturally, we crave the approval of one another. That's just how we are built. It's in our DNA. But I want to say, put your blinders on. If you're doing something that someone else doesn't quite understand, it's natural for them to respond in an unfavorable way. Although there is a difference in saying they're never going to do it as opposed to just being downright rude. So, for example, I don't like public speaking. Some people thrive off of it, but I'm not going to judge them any differently because they enjoy doing something that I don't. Unfortunately, negativity will be directed at you. There's no way around it, and you just have to learn to put your blinders on and just keep moving forward. Keep your goals in mind. So we as network marketers have to work to develop that thick skin, that rhino skin, if you will. And there are going to be a lot of people who don't understand the industry and will never try to, and that's okay. That's not our problem, that's theirs. Our job is to show them that there is a better way, and we show them by living that life and helping other people change theirs. If they jump on board, great. If they don't, that's fine too. Odds are down the road they will reconsider, as long as you stay consistent. This is the part where consistency comes into play and it starts to pay off. So here's another reason why blinders are so important. Aside from the negativity, you will be tempted to see what else is out there. And as bad as this may or may not sound to you, don't do it. There will always be new companies. There will always be new products and new comp plans, and that's life. But do you think Nike is worried about Reebok? No. So if you're truly happy about where you're at, put your blinders on and stick with it. It's just like marriage, right? I mean, if you're with somebody and you're happy, why would you go out looking for anything else? Same thing. I'm married to my mission. I'm married to my company, and I'm not going to give another company, another comp plan, another commission structure my time, because this is one of those times where I would say put all your eggs in one basket, okay? If you're constantly worried about what others are doing, and you start hopping around, all you're doing is losing the trust of your audience, you're developing bad habits of never being satisfied, and you're hurting your business. We call this shiny ball syndrome. So the time that you spend comparing your company and your products and your comp plan and all that to someone else's, that's time that you're wasting. The grass is greener where you water it, and that's the bottom line. Simple as that. So again, I'm speaking to those who are wanting to get to the top of their company. For those of you who are just dabbling in network marketing here and there, trying to find your place, this is not for you. But if you're really trying to get to the top and you want to be successful in your company, you need to choose one company. Splitting up your time among multiple companies is not going to do anything for you. You need to dedicate your time to the one that you are truly passionate about and hit the ground running. Okay, put all your eggs in one basket in this specific scenario. Now, if you chase two rabbits at once, you're not going to catch either one, right? It's the same thing. Choose a company and go at it full force. I also don't recommend hosting parties for other network marketing companies in the beginning of your journey. Or doing party swaps in the beginning, because here's the thing, you worked hard for your network and your audience, so sharing them with other people might just confuse them. A lot of people don't understand the concept of online parties, so they may think you just joined another company and bam, you lost the trust of them. Now I'm going to be honest, I have hosted one party for another network marketing company, but that was well into my business, about a year and a half into it. I had already built up a solid foundation, a good network, and I built up the trust of my audience, so they knew that I wasn't going anywhere. But if you spend time juggling multiple companies, whether you're just throwing parties or you're joining different companies, you're giving your audience whiplash, and you're just going to look like you're out to make money and that your audience is just that, just your audience, that they are just dollar signs to you and nothing more. These are your friends, these are your coworkers, this is your family, your acquaintances. Treat them like they matter to you, not that they are just potential customers for your next business venture. So last but not least, be kind to yourself. You're going to run into roadblocks and speed bumps, and there's going to be times where you're going to want to quit. There's going to be times where you just feel like a complete failure. You messed something up. You made a mistake. You know what? We all go through that, you guys, no matter where you are in your company and your comp plan, whether it's the very top or you're just getting started, we all go through it. And whether or not you power through it is going to determine your success. Just take a step back, reevaluate, do some personal development, and jump back in whenever you're ready. Building an empire takes time. It takes consistency, patience, and sometimes a little bit of resilience. So do what you need to do in order to get on track, and don't lose sight of your goals. Hope you guys have a wonderful day.